أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Today is the 23rd lecture in the continuation of Tafsir Qur'an al-Kareem. Today is 7th of Dhul Hijjah 1444 after Hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, tomorrow we are going to feast the great day, that is the day of Arafah. No, the day after tomorrow, that is on 9th. We have explained in the recent video that we have posted concerning the day of Arafah. For those who are interested, they can search for it in the YouTube, the day of Arafah. Inshallah, you could find some of the virtues of this day, some of the uniqueness and speciality that this day is having. Allah is saying in the chapter of Baqarah, today's date is 25th of June 2023 after Christ alayhi salam, which is similar to the 7th of Zulhijjah 1444 after Hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Medina. We continue with Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 of the Qur'an, verse number 65, inshallah. Allah is saying, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ثم توليتم من بعد ذلك فلولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لكنتم من الخاسرين ولقد علمتم الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت فقلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين فجعلناها نكالا لما بين يديها وما خلفها وموعظة للمتقين. وإذ قال موسى لقومه إن الله يأمركم أن تذبحوا بقرة قالوا أتتخذنا هزوا قال أعوذ بالله أن أكون من الجاهلين قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فارض ولا بكر عوان بين ذلك فافعلوا ما تؤمرون قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. These are the words of Allah. Allah is saying, وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ فِي السَّبْتِ فَقُلْنَا لَهُمْ كُونُوا قِرَدَةً خَاسِئِينَ. And you had already known those who transgressed among you on the Sabbath day. And we said to them, become monkeys, become apes, the despised ones. So Allah is saying, look, O Jews, you knew what has happened to those people who broke the covenant of honoring the Sabbath and devoting to worship on the day. Instead, they became careless and went on hunting fish on that day. They went on fishing on that day. Allah is saying that remember what has happened to the people of the past who transgress on the Sabbath day. Sabbath day is the day of Saturday. It is the blessed day and the best day that is in the Sharia of the Jews. Ibn Kathir was saying they used to attach the hooks of Friday so that on Sunday they come out and then the hooks would gather plenty of fishes. Then they would carry them. Allah says, وَاسْأَلْهُمْ عَنْ الْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي حَاضِرَةً بحر إذ تعدون في السبت إذ تأتيهم حيتانهم يوم سبتهم يوم شرع ويوم لا يثبتون لا يأتيهم. Allah is saying in this chapter and ask them about those who were close to sea. واسأل عن القرية التي كانت حاضرة البحر. Behold, they transgress in the matter of Sabbath. Their fish come on the Sabbath openly, but never come on other days. So we made them a trial. Allah is saying, I tested them. I told them, you can hunt in all the days except on Saturday, which is the blessed day, that the day of worship, the day that you are expected to devote yourself in worship to me. Then he said, don't fish, don't go for fishing on that day. And that is the day that they went on fishing, and then Allah turned them to monkeys. Qatada was saying, Nuhu an sayd al-haytan yawm al-sabti فبلوا بذلك فاعتدوا واصطادوا فجعلهم الله قردة خاسئين. They were forbidden from hunting fish on Saturday. Then they were notified, but they went and transgressed. They hunted on it. Then Allah converts them to despised apes, to despised monkeys. D.R.A. was saying, the people of the town near that valley, they were divided into three groups. The first group, firqatun akalat, those who ate that fish. The second group, firqatun i'tazalat wa lam tanha, those people among them who didn't preach to those who were eating, and then they showed their concern. And the third group, firqatun nahat wa lam ta'tazil, those who preached to them, those who preached to those who were eating that they should stop eating, and then nothing concerned them. They didn't care. We only preach to you. If you like, do. If you like, don't do. Nothing concerned them. So the first group were those whom Allah says, Kunu qiratan khasi'in, become apes, all of you, the despised ones. وَأَنْتَيْنَا الَّذِينَ يَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ السُّوءِ أَخَذْنَا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا بِعَذَابٍ بَئِيسٍ, and we saved those who were preaching and took the sinners with a harsh punishment. Now, how did Allah change them to apes? Is it physical change or spiritual change? The scholars differed concerning that. Mujahid is of the view that it was a spiritual changing, that Allah only turned their hearts to be like the hearts of monkeys, but they were physical human beings. He brought this verse, كَمَثَلِ الْحِمَارِ يَحْمِلُ أَسْفَارَ. Allah gave example of some people who he said he likened them with donkeys. He said they are just like donkeys. So Qatada is of the view contrary to that of Mujahid. He says it is a physical changing. Allah completely changed them to monkeys. He says, صاروا القوم قرودا تعاوى لها أذناب بعدما كانوا رجالا ونساء. They were transformed to apes while howling, having tails, which initially they were human beings, men and women. And he even said they were howling. Howling means the language that monkeys are speaking. They are not speaking the way we are speaking. You see, their signs, the way they are speaking, that is howling. Mujahid was saying, ta'awa, qurudan ta'awa. They were even howling. They even had tails, which initially they were human beings. Abdullah ibn Abbas says, the youth among them, Allah transformed them to apes, while the old ones, they became pigs, swine. So now, I must Allah, after becoming the apes, did they procreate? Are these apes that were seen around us? Those people whom Allah turned them to monkeys, are they the ones that we are seeing now? Are they their children? That's the question. Now the answer to this question is that the scholars differed, and majority of the scholars, they believe that they didn't procreate. Al-masmukh la yansir. The ones that were transformed, they have not given birth. Immediately when Allah turned them to monkeys, then after some days they all died, and that is the end of them. So they didn't give birth. So that is, these monkeys that we are seeing around us, they are not those people whom this verse is talking about. Abdullah ibn Abbas is also saying, لم يعش مسخ قط فوق 3 أيام ولم يأكل ولم يشرب ولم ينسل. No nation that were transformed to another creatures remained in that state above 3 days. They never ate, they never eat, they never drink, they never had sexual intercourse in that stage. The second group said, no, no, no. The people transformed into apes, procreated, they gave birth. This is the view of Ibn al-Arabi, and those who supported him. They rely on some number of ahadith, and some of them are mawquf, some of them are sahih, some of them they are sahih. In fact, now the first ahadith that they brought, that these monkeys that we are seeing around us where they originated from those people. They said the hadith of Abu Huraira recorded by Imam Muslim, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, فقدت أمة من بني إسرائيل لا يدرى ما فعلت ولا أراه إلا الفأرة. A nation in Banu Israel became inexistent. No one knew what happened to them, and I think they are these rodents. I think that they are these rats that we are seeing. So Rasulullah sallam is saying there were people among Banu Israel whom Allah made them, none of them was there. So I am thinking, he said, I am thinking and I am doubting that these rats, they are those people whom Allah turned them to rats, and then they procreated, they gave birth, and that is why we are seeing this rat today. Now, reason number 2. They said the hadith of Jabir that is talking about lizard. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was brought food containing meat of lizard. He said, I can't eat. لا أدري لعله من القرون التي مسخت. He said, I cannot eat this meat because I don't know if it was among the animals transformed from human being. And this hadith is also sahih, recorded by Imam Muslim. So you see, and the third hadith that they mention is the hadith of Amr ibn Maymun, recorded by Imam al-Bukhari, who said, in the Jahiliyyah period, I saw a group of monkeys stoning monkey, qad zanat, which did zina. So Amr ibn Maymun, he was saying that in the Jahiliyyah period, in the beginning, I saw some monkeys, they were stoning another monkey that it did zina. And we know the penalty of somebody who did zina is that he is going to be stoned if it is adultery. Most scholars deny the addition of qad zanat. What the scholars are saying, most of them, they say the hadith is correct, but that addition of qad zanat, it did zina. That is what they deny. They said it is not in the original hadith. That all Amr ibn Maymun saw is that he saw some monkeys stoning another monkey. That is all. So the first group, those who said that they didn't procreate, they gave reply to these evidence that these scholars have given on the second group. They said in the isnad of this hadith mentioned by Amr ibn Maymun that he saw some monkeys stoning another monkey. He said in the isnad of the hadith there is Abdul Malik bin Muslim, and he reported the hadith from Isa ibn Hisan, whose hadith is always rejected. And then they said Amr ibn Maymun was not sure it committed zina. He only saw them stoning the monkey, and he only took that hadith from there. So he didn't receive any revelation. He's not a Sahabi. He is not a Nabi, and he is not a Malak that he would receive revelation. And they said capital punishment, the had is only valid upon Mukallaf among the men and among the jinn. A monkey is not a mukallaf, monkey is not a man, monkey is not a jinn. So they are not written with sin or reward. So there is no way capital punishment can exist between them. And then they say regarding the hadith of Abu Huraira, which we read in Sahih Muslim, and that of Jabir, on rats and lizards, and regard on lizard, it was in the beginning that Rasulullah SAW said, I don't know, maybe they were transformed from human beings. Eventually Allah revealed to him, and this hadith that he received revelation has abrogated the ones that came before them. ما ننسخ من آية أو نسيها نأتي بخير منها مثلها. And then Rasulullah SAW was asked, he was clearly asked, clearly in the hadith, whether these apes are the ones that Allah turned them to monkeys, the human beings that were transformed to monkeys. What is the reply he gave? He said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَمْ يُهْلِكُ قَوْمًا فَيَجْعَلَ لَهُمْ نَسَلًا وَإِنَّ الْقُرُودَ وَالْخَنَازِيرَ صَارُوا قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ. Behold, Allah never punished a people and then allowed them to give birth. So apes and pigs have been existing before them. This hadith is the hadith reported by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, recorded by Imam Muslim, and it is the very, very authentic view that those people whom Allah is talking about in this verse, that He told them not to go for fishery on Saturday, instead they should go for devotion to worship, they refused and they went on hunting on that Saturday. Allah angrily changed them to monkeys. They only spent 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then they died. All of them, they became non-existent. They didn't give birth. So they are not the monkeys we are seeing around us. قل هل أنبئكم بشر من ذلك مثوبة من عند الله من لعنه الله غضب عليه وجعل منهم القردة والخنازير وعبد الطاغوت. Shall I inform you of the worst people? They are those whom Allah caused and shows His wrath and made them among them apes and pigs and worshippers of other than Allah. They are the worst people. Imam Qurtubi was saying, وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ أَيْ عَرَفْتُمْ أَعْيَانُهُمْ أَوْ عَرَفْتُمْ أَحْكَامُهُم. You know, O Jews, the ruling on what has happened to the Jews that came before you. In Sunan al-Nasa'i, hadith of Safwan ibn Asal, he was a Jewish man. He came and asked his in Sunan al-Nasa'i, hadith of Safwan ibn Asal, he said, a Jewish man asked his friend, he said, come on, idhab bina ila hadha nabi. Come on, let's go to this prophet and test him. Let's go to this prophet and test him. He said, don't call him a prophet. He said, then they went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, they wanted to test him. He said, tell us about the popular ayat of Torah. Give us the name, give us about the popular ayat. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah revealed to him immediately. He said, the verse are, this ayat are, La tushriku billah. Don't ascribe a partner to Allah. Wala tusrifu. Don't do extravagance. ولا تزنوا, and stay away from fornication. ولا تقتلوا النفس التي حرم الله, and avoid murder. ولا تمشوا ببريء إلى السلطان, don't be disobedient to the rulers. ولا تسحروا, and avoid magic. ولا تأكلوا الربا, and avoid usury, interest. ولا تذف المحصنات, and don't slander innocent women. قذف المحصنات. ولا تولوا يوم الزحف, and don't run away in battle. وعليكم خاصة ألا تعودوا يوم السبت, and to you Jews specifically never hunt on the Sabbath. They said, نشهد أنك نبي أرسل. We should bear witness that you are a true prophet. He asked, then why can't you follow me? He said, David did a dua. David alayhi salam, he made a dua. He said, oh Allah, enable all the prophets to be from my family. We fear that by joining your force, we fight our own people. That's the reason they rejected it. Subhanallah. So their view is that since you are not a Jew, we cannot follow you. The problem of Jews is not in rejecting Allah, but they rejected Jesus Christ alayhi salam, and they rejected Muhammad alayhi salam for their personal interest, not for evidence on ground. Khasi'in, Abu Ali says, Adillatun Saghirun, humiliated. Imam Qurtubi says, Khasi'in, ay mub'adina, be far away. ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا أي بعيدا. قال اخسأوا فيها, being far away. So the next verse is saying فجعلناها نكالا لما بين يديها وما خلفها وموعظة للمتقين, and we made it an example to their own time and posterity, and a lesson to those who fear Allah. فجعلناها, Ibn Jarir says, الحيتان, it's talking about the fish. Nakalan, Abu Ali says, ay uqubatan, it became a punishment. Lima bayna yadayha, Ibn Abbas says, min al-qura, we gave them punishment among other towns. According to Abi Aliya, lima bayna yadayha, ay lima khala min dhunubihim, we gave them punishment for their past sins. That is, Allah punished them by transforming them to apes because of those crimes they did in the past. That is also the view of Anas ibn Malik, the view of Mujahid, As-Sudai, Qatada, Ma'mar, Ikrimah, and Al-Hasan. Ibn Abbas also said, لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهَا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْ الْمُسْخَةِ فِي قَبْلِهَا مِنْ ذُنُوبِ الْقَوْمِ, we gave them punishment for transforming them due to that punishment. وَمَا خَلْفَهَا, Abu Ali says, عِبْرَةً لِمَنْ بَقَى بَعْدَهُمْ مِنَ النَّاسِ, they were transformed into apes as a lesson to those who come after them. وَمَوْعِظَةً لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, Ibn Abbas says, الَّذِينَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ, الَّذِينَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ, it is a lesson to those who fear Allah till the day of resurrection. As-Sudai says, مَوْعِظَةً لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, ay ummatu Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So based on the evidence that we have just read, we understand that Allah Azza wa Jal turned these people. They were initially human beings. Allah Azza wa Jal turned them physically. They change and they become apes. They become monkeys. Now we can see here the Quran is saying there were people whom Allah turned them to apes. If we compared with the theory of evolution, what is it saying? That human beings emanated from apes. The theory is saying that initially they were apes, and then they become human beings, and that is how we had the beginning. Now let's consider this evidence and let's compare them and see what is going to take place.